Okay, so now let's get ready to prepare for our ear training course. I'm going to give you a few different things to work on. The first thing we're going to talk about is what I refer to as the essential 10. It's the 10 essential open chords that we need to learn how to play to figure out most songs by ear. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to talk about all 10 of those real quick, and then I'm going to go into another little section furthering this whole thing. So first things first, you have in your booklet, they're listed as well, but the chords are A major, C major, D major, E major, F major, and G major. Those are the 6 major chords that we need to know. And then we've got our minor side. We've got A minor, B minor, D minor, and E minor. Okay? So the first thing I want to tell you is just the terms major and minor, kind of theory terms. When we say major, what we're really referring to is a chord that sounds a bit happier or a bit more upbeat, almost a bit more standard. You hear it a lot. Minor chords, on the other hand, tend to sound a little bit sadder or darker or a bit more melancholy. So throughout this whole process, I'm going to show you what they sound like. I'm going to try and teach you how to listen to the chords to identify not only the chord itself, but whether the chord is major or minor. So to begin with, though, let's go ahead and just make sure you know all 10 of these chords. So the first chord we're going to learn is the A major chord. Now that's done by placing your first finger on the 4th string at the 2nd fret. Then you're going to place your middle finger on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, and you're going to place your 3rd finger, your ring finger, on the 2nd string, 2nd fret as well. And with this chord, you just strum the bottom 5. Now that's an A major chord. Now, in music, we don't really have to say the term major after a chord. If the chord is major, you and I can just simply say A. So if I said, okay, play me a G chord, you would know that it's major because it's inferred by us in terms of musicians. We don't have to constantly say major. It's redundant. We already know it's major. And how do we know it's major? Because it's not minor. If a chord is minor, we will say minor. So if you're talking to somebody or you're reading an article or watching a video or something and somebody says, okay, we're going to play a D chord, you know that they're talking about major. So this chord right here is an A chord or A major. But again, I don't have to keep saying major. So there's your A chord. Now let's move on to your C chord. That's done by placing your first finger on the 2nd string at the 1st fret. Your middle finger goes on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And your 3rd finger or ring finger goes on the 5th string at the 3rd fret. And this chord you also just strum the bottom 5. Okay? Moving on to the next chord, we're going to move on to the D chord. Okay? So the D chord is done by placing your first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Then you're going to place the middle finger on the 1st string, also in the 2nd fret. And you're going to place your ring finger or 3rd finger on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret. So it's making a bit of a triangle there. And this one you just strum the bottom 4. Okay. Then we move on to the E chord. And the E chord is done by placing your first finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret. You place your middle finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and you place your ring finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret as well. And that's all 6. All right. The next chord we have in that sequence is the F chord, and the F chord is done by pressing on the 1st and 2nd strings at the same time, kind of a little bar here, okay? At the 1st fret on the 1st and 2nd strings, you press on both those. Then you take your middle finger and you place that on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, and you put your ring finger or 3rd finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret. And this one you can only strum the bottom 4, so you have to be careful on this one.